G'day guys, Seeney here and welcome to another episode on the Australian Wealth channel. And in this episode, we are going to talk about my next 10x investment. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. In this video, we're going to talk about my next 10x investment, the stats behind that, why I think it's going to perform so well, and a number of other things. So make sure, before we get started, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people. As usual, I've got my trusty water here, which is much cheaper than 20-cent iced coffee. Sorry, Graham, but you know, who really holds the cheap crown? Okay, so when it comes to talking about stocks like this, when I do on the channel, it's really important to do your own due diligence and your own work. You can't just take people's advice on the internet for what you should buy. That's up to you. Just because I feel this stock is going to go up, it may not. So it's very important to do your own research. So my latest investment that I believe is going to 10x over the next few years is the Tattooed Chef Corporation. Ticker symbol TTCF. So, what does this company do? They do vegetarian pre-packed meals targeted at millennials. So, I'm very carnivorous, so there's nothing I love more than making money off vegans and vegetarians. But more importantly than that, you know, it's really important to have a look at the underlying business and the fundamentals of the business to see whether it's actually a good buy. So let's start with the CEO. The CEO is Galletti Salvatore, who's been in the food game for over 35 years. So it's really important when you're looking at a company to make sure that the management team is really good and they've executed well over a long period of time. Proven execution is crucial. Because people can promise things to the absolute moon, but unless they've actually executed before, there's a very high chance that they don't know what they're doing. So this is a big positive for me that the CEO has been in the game for a long time. Now, the next thing that is great about this company is that revenue growth is 65% year over year. So it's going up very dramatically, which is a great sign with a growth stock. And not only that, growth is anticipated to accelerate. So they're expecting growth rates in the future higher than 65%. So we'll talk more about that later, but the company has basically no debt, which is fantastic, and has a good cash position. So one of the things that can really take a company down, especially with what we've seen in the last year, is when their balance sheet is not very strong. If they're completely loaded up to the sky with debt and they're going to struggle to pay that back, it really puts a handbrake on growth. So that is something that's really important to note. So the Tattooed Chef Corporation has a $1.7 billion market cap, which is expensive for its revenue that it's currently earning, which is around 130 million a year. But the company is expected to grow at a massive rate, and the growth is expected to accelerate even more. I think this particular company has the potential to be a giant in future years, which obviously remains to be seen. But the thing is, they already have distribution into Walmart and Sam's Club in the US, with the option to expand to even more stores and more SKUs, which just means more products in those stores. The company, I believe, is only just getting started, and the international market has not even begun to be tapped. At this stage of the business, they haven't really started to market properly, but this is due to begin this year, which will be very helpful in bringing brand awareness to the company on a much larger scale. The other thing that I really like about this particular space at the moment is that millennials are a lot more conscious of what goes into their food and the meals that they're eating. As a result, it makes Tattooed Chef a massively growing business in a massively growing sector. The plant-based sector over the last couple of years has grown in a really big way, and Tattooed Chef is just one example of a couple of companies that have managed to take advantage of that sector, and this trend is going to continue over time. I can potentially see this particular company being a giant in the space like Conagra Foods. But the really important thing is that they keep that growth rate up so that they can basically dominate that space. Something else which I think is a really valuable asset to the Tattooed Chef is that they are vertically integrated. Now, what this means is that the company has complete control of the entire product from beginning to end. There's many companies that outsource different things to other companies, but that is not the case with the Tattooed Chef. So everything from the ingredients to the preparation, the packaging, the branding, the whole deal, they completely control it in-house, which is fantastic. You know, it's very similar to what Tesla is doing. They're fully vertically integrated and have complete control over the entire life cycle of the product. So this is such an advantage because it means that the business can pivot fast because they have control over all the chains and it doesn't take time to go through other businesses. So obviously there's some risk when you're investing in smaller companies, and you know, a company that has a $1.7 billion market cap, you know, that is a smaller company. You know, if you look at some of the other companies such as say Apple or Amazon, they have over $1 trillion market cap. So it makes the Tattooed Chef look really small. So obviously there's a lot more risk that is involved when investing in a company like this, but of course that means that the potential for reward is much bigger. So this is one of my more speculative plays. I think it's important to have that really balanced out between some, you know, stronger names and some more spec plays to take advantage of that capital growth. I think the merits of the Tattooed Chef really outweigh the risks for me, and that's why I'll continue to add shares under $30 a share. It currently sits around 24. Anything can happen in the short term, but in the long term, I'm expecting to see a 5 to 10 times return on my money. So we'll have to wait and see. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Tattooed Chef, and whether you think the company is going to do really well, or you think it's going to just get dominated. Who knows? We'll have to see. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people so they can learn about some more stocks. And of course, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you later. We'll be right back.